Hello, everybody. Welcome to another interview. Today, we are going to be interviewing SnowyPackel. He is the creator of the Hourly Object Show and is an animator for Haminations and Inanimate Insanity Invitational. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. If you would like to introduce yourself.
Hello. I am Mason or Snowy Packle, whatever you want to call me. As mentioned before, I'm an animator for Haminations. I also made the Hourly Object Show, kind of a spin-off to the Daily Object Show. Um, I animate for a bunch of shows like Inanimate Insanity, uh, TDOS, what else? I animated Webs for Evs BFDI memes one time. I animated for that one BFDI short for the meetup. That was cool. And
Mm-hmm.
Paper Puppets and Starlight, Olo, Nightly Manor, pretty much just the bigger shows I work on. Yeah. Great to be here.
Yeah. Alrighty. So we'll go with the fan submitted questions first. Noah asks, Snowy Packet, I have an important question I need for my homework. What is 5 plus 3?
Let me pull up my calculator. Hold on. uh I'll get back to you on that one.
Alrighty. Nice show for Weenies fan asks, will there be an object show? At some point,
You
because
know?
you've canceled like 2.
Okay. Okay. Object Asylum, that's done, probably. Most likely. That's just done. Just
I was
throwing
so.
that out there right now. Object Asylum is most likely done forever. It was a
Yeah.
phase. It was a thing when I was 13.
Yeah, I was
Um,
so confused at. I was like so confused um, when I was like when I was watching it, I was like, "What is this? Is this supposed to be a joke?" And then I read the description, and it was said it was unfinished. I thought it was some kind of joke show.
oh, are you thinking of, wait, are you thinking of Object Asylum or Epic Object Show?
Object Asylum, the one where it was unfinished.
Oh, that one. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I uploaded the first unfinished episode because I was like, the show sucks and I hate it, but I don't want it to go to waste. So I'll just upload everything that wasn't done. And pretty much, because it was like, yeah, it was pretty much like everything, like, it was like all the audio was done and like half the visuals were, no, it was like barely any visual animation was done. There was a lot of storyboards done. And I was just like,
Hmm.
I don't want all this to go to waste. I don't want to work on the show anymore. Because I started making Object Asylum when I was like 12 or 13. And
Wow.
now I'm 16 and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't like how the show's like turning out. But it's like, yeah, it's Object Asylum was a thing that happened. I have redesigns of the characters in case I ever want to do anything with them, but it's most likely there's just an actual show of it is done. Now, on the other hand, Epic Object Show. You see, I actually had the intro for that done about 2 months before uploading it to YouTube. And the reason for that is because I was going to upload it
Hmm.
as like an actual show. I was going to start working on it just whenever I had free time and just upload it casually, just have silly episodes. And I will say, contrary to popular belief of the pinned comment on Epic Object Show intro, the show is not canceled.
No
The
way.
show Epic Object Show is not canceled. It is being worked on. It's just, as I said before, I work on it in my free time, and right now I do not have free time given how many people I work for, and I prefer working for other people than working on my channel because I like I like outsourcing and working for other people. But Epic Object Show is not canceled.
Hmm.
It's a part of the reason I uploaded on April Fools is because I thought people would get the joke. No one got the joke, but it's okay. Epic Object Show will come out eventually. When is eventually? I have no clue. But before, let's just say before I die, it will come out. How about that?
So was it? Were you gonna? Was Did you have any like storyline going forward for Object Asylum, or was it just like? Was it just like whatever the viewers kind of wanted? Did you like go the route of?
Object
Did you
Asylum.
go the route of
What?
inanimate insanity, or?
Object Asylum was the concept of it. I don't want to delve into it as like too much because there's a lot of ideas I had written down for it because I've literally had like I have like 5 documents all related to Object Asylum, just like explaining everything. Because I was in love with making this show when I was like 13, and I had like all my friends working on it and supporting me, and I was like, yes, this is gonna be like the best Object show ever. And then just like as other object shows that like fell into the trap of being
Mhm.
one of those shows that's just like, oh, it's coming out. It has here's the intro, and then
Yeah.
it just doesn't come out.
Yeah.
And it's like
It got.
the idea for it was a contestant vote. It was just a bunch of guys just chilling on an island, and then they would have like silly hijinks, be like kind of just like playful towards each other, just like doing the competition for fun. Because I think that's shown in like the unfinished episode. It's
Yeah.
kind of just like, oh, we're doing this
When.
competition for fun. We're all friends here. We're
Yeah.
just having fun here. But then like some hijinks would happen like later on in the episodes, and there'd be like a big finale, and just like kind of just like, oh, it would turn a lot of heads, like get a lot of like unexpected like storylines and stuff like that. But it's kind of just like never worked on it, so it's kind of just fell down the rabbit hole. But
Yeah.
it's all right.
Um. Did So like when you were developing it, like did you who was gonna be like on it? Was it just gonna be you voice acting it or?
So on the show, as shown in like the unfinished episode, it was basically just like I was the main like showrunner, and I had all my friends working on it. The I'm still friends with now. We're still chill. It's just not, they don't work on my object show anymore. And it was basically just had all my friends voice acting. Had like Taff voicing Ornament, Fusion voicing Monitor, Web Shreds voicing. I think it was Lava Lamp. Yeah, Rival Race voicing Relay Baton. Basically just all that, right? I was like, all right, I got the perfect voice cast. I got all my friends animating for it, and it was cool. I just had all my friends working on my object show. And I was like, this is the best outcome. All my friends are gonna love working on it. But the thing is, I think a lot of people don't understand with making object shows is that if the creator is not motivated or having fun working on the show, then no one is having fun and is going to have fun working on the show. Because if the people working for you are just like, why should we care if the person who's running it doesn't care? Then they're not going to care, and it's not going to go anywhere. So I think just
Mhm.
people need to understand that you have to have fun with what you're making. Just have fun with what you're making, and everyone will have fun. That's how you get everyone motivated to work on it. That's why stuff like the Nightly Manor and One is so much fun.
Yeah,
And
one is my favorite object show.
yeah,
If you
that's why
can't tell.
Nightly Manor and One are like so fun to work on, because like the entire crew, everyone on the crew is friends with each other. We all hype each other up, and the community's behind it supporting us, and just like we just have an entire like
Yeah.
uplifting cruise, and it's kind of just like, yeah, working in those kinds of environments just helps a lot with object show crews, and I think more people need to realize that and not just like, all right, guys, here's my crap show. Here are your crap scenes. Let's
That can
let's get a move on.
that only works in certain scenarios. For example, like joke shows, and even joke shows, you need to have fun with it as well because it's a joke show. It's all for comedy.
Hmm.
So, but I So when was Object Asylum made? Because like I noticed, especially in the first scene, it had that like nostalgia, like very like flash animated early object show um design. I was wondering, like, was it made like post BFB, where it was kind of the era of like more cartoony animated styles, like hand drawn, or was it was it pre BFB where it was like Flash?
Um, I mean, pretty much all object show animation is still like done in Flash, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like it's kind of just like a stylistic preference. And back in the day, I loved assets, and I still do like assets. It's kind of just like at some points it gets like a little like drawn out, and people don't do it right. Um, but it's like, yeah, it's like everything's still done in Flash. It's just like the rigs, everything was made in Flash,
Mhm.
and it's kind of just like I was in love with using assets and kind of just like using the opposite show arms, just making everything like that look like that. It was just like
Mhm.
my main like style preference. And it wasn't until I was getting all the me and some buddies were redesigning the object show or the object asylum characters for something, and then I was kind of just like, do I want to do assets again, or do I just want to do BFB style now? And I tried putting assets on like all of them, and the only one that really like worked with assets was like Blood Bottle, kind of.
Mhm.
But like as I was doing BFB style, I was kind of just like, this looks so much better. I'm just gonna do this. So then I just made like a full cast photo of
Yeah.
like the guys in the BFB style, and I was like, this
Yeah.
just looks so much better. So
Yeah, I mean, I guess a part of me, because I've been, I wasn't in the OSC, but I've been watching object shows for a while, ever since I was like in preschool, which has been like 7 years, which has been like almost 10 years now. Um, because I started in preschool. I'm 14 now. I think like a part of me definitely misses the old style just because it's so nostalgic for me. But I know, like, and I hope I'm not coming off as I don't like the new style, especially talking to an animator here. um, but I feel like it's it's uh it's just I nostalgia. I guess that's why I like it so much, honestly. But
hmm
yeah.
it's all just about stylistic preference, really.
Mhm. All right. So going away from viewer submitted questions, we'll go into written questions by me. So
All right,
how much of the hourly object show was improvised?
all of it.
All of it? Just like so you like turn like okay. So like how improvised? Did you have any cliff notes at all, or was it just you turned on a microphone and did
I
whatever?
was in a VC with Fusion. I said he uploaded. I think it was season. I think it was Cobalt Mountain. The whatever the second season was. The prologue to season one.
Mhm.
And Cult of Cobalt, that's what it was. Yeah. He released Cult of Cobalt. I was like, you know what, Fusion? I could do better than you, actually. He was like, okay, do it, bro. And I was like, okay. So left VC, opened Audacity, started, and I said, hey everyone, welcome to the Hourly Object Show. Here are the contestants. And then I was like, okay, what contestants are we gonna put? And originally the contestants were gonna be like Pokeball and Photoshop and like I don't know. It's just like a lot of like crap characters that didn't make the cut because I was just like, I'm just gonna do like more conventional objects because it's just better. And I'm glad I went with more conventional objects because I think the ones I chose for season one are just like perfect. It's just like it's just box, chapstick, milk. It's just like cool. And then I was like, my entire friend group is obsessed with Mario Judo. Let's put Mario Judo in here, guys. It's gonna be great. So I had the five guys plus clapboard, and I chose clapboard because he was my sign up for CTC, and I was like, oh, why not? And then I liked it, and then I uploaded the first episode. No, I uploaded the teaser. I was like, okay, we're gonna get ready to do this. And then uploaded the teaser. Everyone, and then it got me like 2,000 subscribers, and I was like, huh? And then I started uploading, and it got like another 1,000. I was like, huh? Is this really all it took? Just doing an hourly object show? Okay. So yeah, it was basically just all of it was just improvised, just like on the dot because you don't have time to write scripts in like 5 minutes.
Mhm.
So I was just like, all right, well, what do we do? What do we do? I had like brief like challenge like ideas like in my head. Like I knew I wanted to do the tag challenge for the second episode because I was just like, oh, I want to do it the funny joke with Mario Judah like chasing someone and going, "Don't you run from me!"
Mhm.
And I was like, that'd be funny. That'd be funny, lol. But it was kind of just like the later half. I was just like, rock paper scissors, sure. Staring contest, sure. Why not? So
How did it feel to see the numbers of the show rise high so quickly? Because like you started with 80 and then you went to 120 or like 100 like it rised up like very quick. I don't remember the specific numbers. Um so like did that how did that feel? Did the
it
pressure
was
was it
it was very scary for someone with my
yeah.
with like the size of my channel like as it was because before I made like anything object show related I just made like stupid like silly little cartoons just like reanimating audio and stuff and they'd get like a couple hundred views like per video and I was like all right I'm content with this I'm on top of the world right now I'm getting so many views right now this is so good and then like I uploaded the hourly object show teaser when I started getting more into object shows. Got like 10,000 views or something like that. I was like, huh? And then like every episode of the hourly object show got at least 20,000 views. I was like, what is going on? And then I uploaded the full season. It got like 100,000. I was like, huh? And then I got yeah. Then it was got like I got like 5,000 subscribers. I was like, oh my, was this? Because like before I had like just barely 1,000. Then I was like all of a sudden at 6,000. I was like, what happened? What did I do?
Was would you prefer if that same number of audience would watch anything like that's like harder that's like like it takes a longer time to produce and like it's a lot
I
more time
mean,
consuming, or would you want to stick with like the funny cartoons and give the people what they want?
if you asked me this, like, I want to say like 2 years ago, I would say, "Oh my god, I want all my fans to watch my actual animations, my non OSC animations." But it's kind of just like after learning about how like algorithms with like YouTube and Twitter work, it's kind of just like once you've built yourself in a specific like kind of genre on either platform, that's where you're kind of stuck. And if you try branching out, it is really hard to get out of the rut that you've like solidified yourself in, because that's why you'll notice like a lot of like object show creators, whenever they like upload something that's like maybe not object show related, more often than not, it's like not gonna get as many like get as much traction as like maybe like their object show stuff would, because that niche that they've built themselves in, once they try like doing other stuff, that's when people either don't see it or don't engage with it because it's not something that they particularly like are interested in seeing. Which is why you'll see why videos like my
Mm-hmm.
tidal waves animation, and I think one of my other animations that I made is like on my channel. I'm not sure, but it's kind of just like my animations that are my 15th birthday animation. It's like those videos are like my lowest because those are not OSC animations, which explains a lot knowing how like the YouTube algorithm works and how it like tends to show more object show content to people when that's what I upload on my channel. And it's kind of just like I have to learn to just like embrace that now. Kind of just like upload object show content if I want money, which I'm completely fine with doing. It's kind of just like, and if I do want to upload anything, it kind of just like forces myself to make something for fun rather than just like, oh, I'm gonna make this
Yeah.
cool, I don't know, animated music video for money. Haha. It's kind of just like, no, I'm just gonna do this for fun because that's what I like doing. I like animating. And it's like money should not be my main drive to do something personal. It should be for fun.
Mm-hmm. So, you have a lot planned. An object show, um, and on top of working for animation for other projects, and animating for, you know, like, like a YouTuber, and a lot of, but basically you're just extremely busy. How do you animate or animate? How do you animate? How do you um, how do you keep up with all that?
I pace myself, put myself on a schedule, and let burnout happen because given my workload, burnout is bound to happen. If you let the burnout happen, you will be a lot better at managing your time and stress, because I get stressed more often than I probably should just because I handle my burnout very poorly often. But it's when I do handle my burnout well, it's like I just like play Minecraft and then I'm just like, hey, I feel better now. I'm gonna get back to work now. And then I get like a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of work done. I'm like, yay.
Is
So
is
yeah.
yeah. Is work the only thing on your mind when like is it from like the first day you wake from the first thing you wake up you're like, all right, I got to get to work on animation, or is it like I'll work on animation in like 30 minutes. I'm gonna go eat with friends and then I'm gonna go do this and then I'll go work on animation. Is it more time management or is it like free?
It's more time management, yeah. Because contrary to popular belief, I do have friends outside of the computer. I do choir
No
outside
way
of
you go
school.
outside.
I do choir outside of animation. I'm a singer. I do that kind of stuff. I have choir friends. I have real life friends. We go like to the park. We go to the I live by a lake. We go by the lake. We go swimming. We go on adventures. It's just I do a lot of outdoor stuff, and it's kind of just like sitting at a desk is like kind of just like what I do for my job, and then kind of just hanging out with friends is what I like doing. So it's kind of just having a grasp on time management and being able to manage yourself is, once you're able to get that down, you are like pretty much good to go, because you could be a really good animator but also have like really like poor time management and like not, it's either you'll overwork yourself to shit, or you will like not get any work done because you'll be like, I want to hang out with my friends, smile, and then just like I don't know, play Minecraft all day with your friends and be like, no, the deadline's tomorrow. Oh, I'm just gonna ask for an extension, smile, and then just like get fired from everything. It's a good, you need to
Yeah.
have a good balance, and once you have that balance, it's like okay.
Um. So I don't know like the expiration date of the OSC. I don't think any of us do, obviously. Um, Do you think that working on animation and OSC content is going to be sustainable for the rest of your life, or do you think
Oh no, definitely not.
do you and if it isn't, what do you plan to do after it kind of fizzles out, if
I
that
mean, since
happens?
I mean, as like already seen, I work for stuff like Haminations, so it's kind of just like, yeah, I'm able to get outside like OSC jobs, and I'm currently planning and working with other people to work on other non-OSC stuff. Like like I do have another like job doing visual work for another YouTube channel already.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of just like I do have those connections outside of the OSC because I also do have friends like in the animation industry, and I do have like personal connections with people that are able to like get me onto things that that pay well. I'm able to do work on and just like prepare me for just like anything in my future. So OS like I do OSC work for fun and money because it's kind of just like my roots of just like learning how to like animate more. But then like stuff like Haminations is kind of just like stuff that's like, okay, this is a good job. It pays well. I like working on it. More experience, like more top-notch animation for like a bigger channel. It's kind of just like, all right, cool. So it's kind of just like object show animation is obviously something I'm not going to be doing forever. But it's like it's kind of just like that thing if a friend's just like, "Hey, work on my object show," and it's like a really good friend and I like their work, and it's like, "Yeah, sure, buddy." But
Okay. Um, do you like hope to work at DreamWorks or one of the bigger animation studios
oh no,
someday?
yeah, definitely. That's what I'm aiming for.
Yeah.
That's what I want to go to college for animation, get some sort of degree, work for a big studio, and kind of just hope for the best. Because I do like animating. I like animating I like doing freelance work for people online, and hopefully once I'm like done with college, I can apply for like studio jobs and stuff and work for stuff like Pixar because I like those movies
Yeah, I
and
love Pixar.
I value their productions, I value their production work, and I want to work in that kind of environment because it's something I very much want to work towards.
All right. So, I mean, I think we kind of went onto this a little bit, but can you describe what it is like for working on animation for object shows? Is it time consuming and grueling, or is it slower paced and kind of like, you're cool if you miss like a deadline, just finish it up as soon as possible. Like how is that?
It it all depends. It's if you're able to animate, that's fine. It's again though, it's mainly about like your scheduling and how you pace yourself with your work because if you're able to pace yourself with your work and kind of just be like put yourself on a schedule and be like, all right, I'm gonna work on this for this many hours and be like, all right, cool, I got this amount of work done. And I know some other people are just like, all right, I'll get 5 seconds done today, get 5 seconds done, and they'll be like, okay, maybe I can get 10 seconds done today, and they get 10 seconds and they kind of just go on and on until the day's over. Being able to pace yourself and give yourself those goals is what will help you be like a functioning and like diligent like crew member to the shows that you work on because working on object shows is kind of just like the base level for just like doing freelance work essentially because it's contrary to popular belief it's actually like doing stuff for like Haminations is not too not too different from what I do for object shows. It's kind of just like they give me the scene
Yeah,
and
you
I
got
animate
you
it.
do have to work with different styles though, especially you know.
Yeah, but, like, given the fact that I am an animator and I kinda just, like, know I have animation experience working for other people and, like, experiencing with different styles, it's kind of just like, yeah, it's just animation just has a human style, and I don't do
How
object show animation.
how hard is that transition? Is it kind of like if you're working on object shows for like 3 hours, is it hard to transition into a human style?
No, not at all. I've been doing human animations for, like, years, so it's like object show animation's kinda just like object show animation's kind of just like my like base level for like working on things because it's kind of just like all right, I guess object show animation's like it's don't get me wrong, it still takes a while to
Hmm.
do like I don't know like several seconds of like object show animation, but like it's a lot easier than doing like human animations. But like at the same time, it's kind
Hmm.
of just like yeah, I like doing both of them, but it's just like one takes longer and one takes shorter, but they're both fun. So
All right. So, where did you get the fast-paced, punchy, sometimes lol random humor from? It reminds me a lot of Astiff movie.
uh I mean, it kind of just sparks from like a lot of like the things that I consume online because I've been watching a lot. I've been watching YouTube since I was like I want to say like 4 years old, and it's kind of just
Same.
like, yeah, mommy's iPad, yeah, yeah, yeah. I like watching YouTube.
Mine was
So yeah,
3.
saying my humor is like saying my humor is like Asif movie kind of just like it's like, oh my gosh, I'm just like what I used to watch. That's so great, but it's kind of just like it sparks from a lot of like the content that I watch. It's like because I know like when I was like my early teenage years, I was like, man, I love Jay Schlatt. Jay Schlatt's so funny, and that's what I like based all my humor around. And I still respect Jay Schlatt as a content creator, and I still think he's like one of the funniest people on the
Yeah.
platform. It's kind of
I
just like,
watch. I personally watch more Isaac Wiley.
hmm
Um,
yeah. But Jay Schlatt was like same with like Call Me Carson, rest in peace. Was another part to my humor. I was kind of just like basically if you know SMP Live and you know the people on SMP Live, I basically wanted to be them. And like not be them as be like a Minecraft Twitch streamer. I never want to do that probably ever. But
hmm
having their humor and just being them as people is just like something that always fascinated me. I was like, man, I want to be as funny and cool as them. So I kind of just like reflected my personality through them.
hmm So, do you have any more plans to do anything more with the Hourly Object Show?
Um, yeah, maybe. I mean, like, kind of just like seeing how me and Fusion collaborated on Object Feud with having TDOS versus Thos. It's kind of just like, yeah, it's like it is a thing that can happen. It's kind of just like spin-offs of things, and they just
hmm
like do their own things. But it's like a season 3 of the Hourly Object Show. I have ideas for it. It's just when I can do it, I will. And when I have ideas for it, I will like write them down and be like, "Is this a good idea?" And then like when I have like all the good ideas like together and in fruition, I can just be like, "Yeah, I can do this." So when I have the ideas and I'm ready for it, yeah, it'll come out eventually. It's kind of just like it comes. Hourly Object Show comes out whenever I want it to, essentially.
Could you describe what it's like? Um, and we kind of did this, but if you could go into a little bit more detail, what is how does every every object show animation deadline or work kind of like function? Is it like structured, or is it more kind of like do what you want? How's it set up?
It's a lot of Object Show animation gives you a lot of like a lot of free will to kind of just like do it, especially when there's no storyboards. If there's no storyboards and you're just going off audio and the script, it's kind of just like okay, yeah, go with like do however you
Some
want.
object shows don't even do storyboards.
Believe it or not, yeah.
How many?
But I won't say which ones, but uh
Okay.
it's
Sorry.
kind of just like you have a lot of free will when it comes to object shows because like you can kind of be like a lot more it's with animation you can be very expressive and like being as expressive as you can and just like showing you like the detail you put into like animation. It's kind of just like yeah, it's like this person obviously cares. It's like you could easily like read the emotions of all the characters. It's like yeah, it's like animation is like a very like good visual process for how you want characters to feel like in the show. And it's like and it's kind of just like how you work yourself, how you do the things, how you do what you want to. It's kind of just like yeah. And obviously when I have more time and dedicate more time to doing what I want to do, then it's like yeah, I'll be able to put like more detail, more care into like the
Mhm.
scene that I'm working on. But there have been some times where in the past where it's like I'll be given a deadline that's like really short, or I'm given a deadline but I have like a few days left because I spent the first few days working on something else. That's like crap. I have like 3 days to do this. It's like I'm kind of forced to leave out some of those details
Mhm.
and kind of just like be like less of a good animator as I want to because of time constraint. It's kind of just like I don't want to overwork myself just to meet a deadline. So it's kind of just like I push out the bare minimum that I can to kind of just like have something that I'm not proud of, but the people I'm giving it to are just like, okay, this is good to go. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Um, you don't have to specify which object show, but have you ever had like a bad experience with like a show creator or animation or anything like that? If you could, and if you did, could you go in depth on what happened? You don't have to be vague about. You don't have to be descriptive about the person. Just if you have any bad experiences.
The most bad experiences you can get with working on an object show are just like like miscommunication or just like no or like little to no communication on just like the show creator's part, and it's kind of just like what I said earlier about me making Object Asylum. It's like when the creator doesn't care too much and it's kind of just like forcing everyone else to work on their show for them. It's like, what if you don't care, then why should we care? It's kind of just like,
Yeah.
it's kind of, yeah, because they're having show creators I work for. It's kind of just like, all right, I want you all to do the work for me. It's like, all right, cool. So I don't get like
Is
motivated
it
to
just
work on
like
it.
is it like it's gonna be it's gonna be another one of these object shows. The creator wants us to do everything.
Exactly, yeah.
Hmm. So, do you have any plans for future object shows?
I mean, like I said, Epic Object Show is audio is all done, animation's halfway done. Well, I'll finish it when I am not busy with work. Um, Object Asylum has some ideas in the back of my head. There's a video I'm planning to make for Object Asylum coming out someday. It was going to be my 10,000 subscriber special, but I'm already like halfway to 12K, and I'm like, oh crap. Okay, cool. So it'll come out when it's done. It's like it's animation for it is like already like doing good. So it's kind of just like when it's like again, when I have the time to work on it, I will. It's just like especially now with art fight going on, I want to do art fight this year. And I'm just like, I love art fight. I like doing art because I like doing art outside of like animation. I like drawing my
Yeah.
friends. I like drawing OCs. It's like got a whole sketchbook of things. It's kind of just like, yeah, it's just like drawing. A very visual guy.
Is that how you learn?
Pretty much, I've just been drawing since I was like a baby and kind of just like learned animation when I was like 8, and I was like, cool.
Could you tell us the discovery of you learning how to animate?
My first ever like real animations that I kind of made was stick figure animations in a software called like Stick Pivot Animator that me and my friend from school would have like with the drive for me to do better in animation when I was like 8 years old was seeing my friend do better than me, and I was like, this can't be. I need to make better animations than him. So I would just like keep pumping out animations on like with like my channel with like 5 subscribers and be like, oh yeah, here we go. This will make it big. And even though they do like nothing.
No
And
way! I
yeah.
got 10 views on that. I got 10
No,
views.
that's literally how like my mindset was when I was like 8 years old, because I would see like 5 views and be like, 5 random people in the world have seen this. One of those people could be Barack Obama. So it's like it's like I never knew, but I knew I made it big. So that's what kept me going for several years. If I had the reality of, oh man, if only 5 people have seen this, I might as well just get. If I had that mindset, I would not be here right now. It's kind of just like you need to see those numbers and be like, oh my god, they're getting better, because seeing like a couple like tens go to a couple hundreds, go to a couple thousands, it's like, oh my god, thousands of people are now seeing this. This is cool.
Yeah. Um. Who? So, what is your personal favorite object show character and why?
My favorite object show characters will always be tennis ball and golf ball from BFDI.
Really?
I
Really?
love tennis ball and golf ball, especially tennis ball. Tennis ball is just like the nerdy the nerdy like guy, but he's also just so funny. I love tennis ball so much, and then golf ball is also just like so funny, and I love how tennis ball just keeps her in check. It's so good, such a good dynamic, and I love it so much.
Yeah. So, I've personally, and this is gonna come as a surprise to like millions of people. What am I talking about? Millions of people are never gonna even freaking see anything that I do. But anyways, um, I have never watched The Nightly Manor, and I need to get on that. I've been telling myself I need to. Can you describe what The Nightly Manor is in a minute to somebody who's never seen it before? And I will even set a timer right now. Describe The Nightly Manor in 1 minute. Go.
If you're a sucker for really like punchy writing with detailed like characters of going into like why, like what their motives are, like the emotions of how they feel about specific events happening, and you're also a big sucker for good visuals and like perfect storytelling and like especially audio as well. Braided does a really good job with the audio, and all the other like audio people on Nightly Manor. Nightly Manor is the show for you because the amount of care and love that Alan puts into the show is just it's such a good environment to work in, especially for like the entire crew. And we all have a blast working on Nightly Manor. It gives us like doing as like much fun as we can. And it's amazing when we get to be able to make things like part 5 with like the most like top notch visuals ever. It's just like if you're a sucker for like emotional and just like emotional characters, good writing, and amazing visuals, check out Nightly Manor. It's really good.
And you did that with 8 seconds to spare. Um, okay. What's your favorite object show to work on?
Favorite object show to
I think
work.
I asked you that.
I love all the shows I worked on. They're all great. I love every single one. I don't hate a single one because they're all great, and I love working on object shows. They're all great equally, and there's nothing bad with any of them.
If you just had to choose one, if you just had to choose one, bro is thinking.
Next question.
All right. Do you hope? What do you hope to do someday in the OSC?
Make something that everyone knows me for that isn't the hourly object show. I do want to there is something people know me for like, oh my god, you're the animator for TDOS. Oh my god, you're the animator for II. OMG, you're the voice of Magma Bucket. OMG, you're the voice of Gita. It's kind of just like I hope to someday like do something that's gonna just like everyone sees in this community. It's like, oh my god, yeah, Mason made that. That is the coolest thing in this community ever. I want to make that someday, and I'm hoping that like one of these projects I'm working on is the thing that does that. And it's kind of the same thing with like animation as well. It's kind of just like for other people. I like animating things that get like spread around. It's kind of just like, oh my god, this scene was so like emotional and like
Mhm.
punchy and like heavy. I love this scene so much, and it gets shared around, and everyone's like, oh my god, the animation for it just really conveys like their emotion. I want to make that scene someday that everyone looks back and is like, yeah, this is one of the best scenes, and just like know in the back of my head that I animated it and be like, yeah, I knew I could do it, and just like pat myself on the back because like animators don't get the credit that they really deserve when it's like scenes of just like, oh my god, the writing in the scene was so good. But like I feel like along with the writing, the animation was able to is able to convey it like really well and show the real emotion of the characters. Because
Mhm.
I'm just like, say you have the paintbrush coming out scene in like an Animate Insanity 2 of like paintbrush and light bulb like in the calm down corner, just like sitting there talking. If the animation was just like really fast and like kind of just like expressionless, then that scene
Yeah.
I feel like would not have like anything to it because it's kind of just like light bulb, you are a great friend, smile. It's like uh, it's like animation really conveys that. I think the animation done for that scene is like
Yeah.
really portrayed it well, and especially like the elimination scene tonight too, as well as for like Balloon's elimination stuff and Mike's elimination. It's like he really conveys emotion because I think an Animate Insanity does like a really well job at expressing
Mhm.
emotion for emotional scenes. So
Yeah. Um, what direction do you hope the OSC will go at some point? Do you hope it'll have more of a place for like more story driven like object shows where it's just the creator wanting to tell a specific story? Um, or do you think it's gonna be better off with competition shows like the average stuff like you know all that.
I think the OSC has already started to do that kind of stuff with the things that people want to create because we have a lot of creative people in this community that have stories to tell through the art of an object show. And I feel like just give them enough time, give them the things they need, and you're able to like have like someone. A lot of people in this community are able to make like really good shows, whether it be a competition show or not. And kind of just like any story someone wants to tell, there's a lot of good ones, and there's a lot of like characters to kind of just like be driven
Mhm.
from like point A to point B, like personality wise, and it's kind of just anyone's able to do anything. That's what I like about the OSC. It's kind of just like with the base of object characters doing funnies, it's like
Yeah.
anyone's able to do anything with like anyone. It's kind of just like do anything you want with these guys, and like a lot of people think you're cool.
Um. Okay. Well, if there was more questions, I would love to give you them, but I'm all out. I have no ideas left.
All right.
Um, this was great. Thank you all for watching. If Snowy has anything left to say.
Uh, Thank you all for watching, everyone. I'm glad I was able to come on. This was a fun experience.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I guess the last thing I'll say is subscribe to my channel, Snowy Packle. Follow
Link in
me on
description.
Twitter. Yep, follow me on Twitter, Snowy Packle. Watch OBC Object Battle City on the Tree 4 channel. Object Battle City
Oh,
is
you work
probably
on
the best.
OBC?
I worked on the most recent episode. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Watch OBC. It's a great show made by great people. Watch the Nightly Manor. Watch Haminations. Yeah, that was about it. I'm glad to be on here. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you all for watching the interview, and I will see you hopefully next week. I'm gonna try and shoot for every Wednesday now. So I hope you enjoy. Uh, Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.